What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen with Worm. This is the first episode of 2020, so yeah. I'm using a tripod because the wife is sick, doesn't feel very well. So we're going to try to do this. It might be a little, I don't know, a little glitchy, a little buggy. We'll do what we can. But we're going to make my version of a Philly cheesesteak. It's very, very simple. You need a Vidalia onion, which is a sweet onion, or you can use whatever kind of onion you want. You need steak, you need cheese, and you need a roll. I actually have a French loaf, and I have some thinly sliced sirloin. You can use ribeye or whatever is in your budget. Like I say, this is sirloin tip. Thin sliced. Like I say, it come from Walmart. Whatever kind of cheese you want. I know, like in Philly, they use Cheese Whiz. I use provolone. Like I say, great value Walmart brand. And then whatever kind of bread you want to use. This is, like I say, this is an Italian. This is Italian loaf, not a French loaf, but this is Italian loaf. This is the reduced bread that Walmart has sometimes, like if it's getting ready to expire in a couple of days. It was 50 cents for a big old loaf of Italian loaf bread. But get you a skillet. Get you your Vidalia onion. Slice it. Chop it up ever how you want. Little canola oil. I use canola oil. We'll take and saute these up till they're translucent, till they're softened up. You don't want to burn them or anything like that, so put them on like low to medium low heat. Like I say, so whatever kind of onion you want to use, you can use a regular yellow onion, red onion. Whatever. This, like I say, this is a sweet Vidalia onion. It's a little. I like a little sweetness with it. But we'll get this sauteed up and get it a little translucent, and get it going. Add a little S&P on it. Don't want that edge because that'll bring out all the pepper. A little bit S&P on it. And after this here gets to where it needs to be. Then I'll show you how to do the steak. Now, when I do my steak, I use a cast iron skillet when I do my steak because it gets the steak real like crisp and gets a little of the brown edges and stuff on it. So once this gets going, we'll come back and get our iron skillet on, put a little canola oil in, and then we'll do the steak, and then I'll show you guys how I do my roll. So stick around. We'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, I forgot one step. The wife reminded me. She's like, "Aren't you going to put the mushrooms in it?" So we got a thing of portobello and cremini mushroom. These are diced up really fine. Like I said, this is my version of a Philly cheesesteak. I usually will put green bell pepper in it too, but I decided not to do that. So yes, mushrooms. We're going to throw this in with the onions. The onions have been cooking for a little bit. The mushrooms themselves don't need much time. They just need to be warmed up a little bit. They're diced up very, very thin. This brand here we buy, made by Dutch country, so they're diced up very, very thin, so they don't need nothing but warmed up and cooked through. So yeah, some mushrooms. Sorry about that, little technical area. All right, guys, we're back. We got the sauteed onions and mushroom mixture pretty much cooked down to where I want it, where it's pretty much translucent and the onions are softened up and the mushrooms are warmed through. I got the cast iron skillet on a medium-high heat with some canola oil. And then we have our thin sliced sirloin tip. I can't remember how many pounds this is. Let me look. I can't even remember. It's roughly a pound and 3/4. It's almost 2 pounds of meat. So like I said, I think there's 4 big pieces in here. It's pretty thin. It's not crazy thin, but you know, if I had some stitches and some thread, Leatherface could make it a mask. So yeah, we're going to take and we're not going to take and worry about too much on the chopping of this. Just got to run through it to get some like strips. This is just a process of doing it whichever way you want to do it. Me, I prefer to do it like this because I think it's more pliable. To each their own. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Like I say, I'm cutting through 4 layers of steak here. And after we get it cut, I'll show you what I put on it as far as seasoning goes. The seasoning is very, very simple. It's pepper and meat tenderizer. And it's seasoned meat tenderizer. You might be asking, well, why don't you add salt? Well, the meat tenderizer has a ton of salt in it. And you don't need the extra salt, trust me. So yeah, this will take a few minutes to do this, but you guys can get the gist of how I'm murdering and butchering this meat. Like I say, you can cut it as thin or as thick as you want. Really left up to you. The meat shouldn't take too awful long to cook. It's according to how you like your meat. Me, I would prefer to have mine probably medium. I don't like it rare or anything like that. I don't like blood coming out of it. Like I say, once again, that's preference to what you like and what your tolerance is. Me, I can't eat a piece of meat that's got blood running out of it. But I don't want a piece of meat that's tough as shoe leather either. So my skillet is smoking, as you guys can probably see. So I'm going to turn it down on 5. Like I say, get a little pepper. Let me turn my fan on before my smoke detector goes off. A little pepper put on it. And like I say, this is seasoned meat tenderizer. Salt, onion, some other spices. I think it's got a little bit of garlic in it. So it's all around seasoning. I don't think it really tenderizes. It just gives the meat a little bit of flavor. And I go pretty heavy on it, so yeah. Mix it up a little bit. Let all the meat get some seasoning on it. And like I say, once again, seasoning, whatever your preference is, whatever you want to add on it, whatever you want to subtract from it. Like I say, this is just my version. Get in the kitchen and make your own version. So yeah, this is, like I say, this is almost 2 pounds of steak, sirloin tip, thinly sliced. We're going to have to fry this in 2 batches because I don't want to crowd the skillet. So that looks about right. And that's what we want right there. It shouldn't take, I wouldn't think, no more than about maybe 4 minutes to cook this steak the way I want it. So after I get 2 batches of steak done, we will come back and we'll work on the bread and I'll show you guys the finished product. Make sure to smash the thumbs up for me. Yeah. Alright guys, first batch of steak is done. Got it mixed with the onions and the mushrooms. Once we get this here done, we'll be ready to start rocking and rolling. Well, we've got our Italian loaf bread. And we're going to start preparing this. Whoa, preparing this for the broiler. I got a little melted margarine here. I'm just going to take my margarine and paint it on this Italian loaf bread. Let it soak up some of that. Should give it a nice crust on it. It'll give it a little bit more depth of flavor, a little more fat, because you know how we do it. If it ain't fat and unhealthy, we probably ain't cooking it, truth or no. So yeah, this is probably about, I don't know, a 1/4 cup of butter, something like that. We're going to use it all. Like I say, we're going to paint it on here like Picasso. Alright, we got that. Then we're going to come back and we're going to hit it with our provolone. This is going to be a really, really cheesy Philly cheesesteak. So we got about 8 slices of provolone on it. One for me. So yeah, as soon as this, sorry to talk with my mouth full. As soon as this steak gets done, we'll put this bad boy together. Stick around. Alright guys, we're about 75% there. And also, right before your steak is getting ready to be done, I always put in some Worcestershire sauce. Just a dash, not much. And the dogs are smelling it, they're going off. And they want some of it. And this here, this buttered Italian loaf with the provolone, it goes in a broiler probably for about 2 minutes. We just want this to get bubbly and cheesy and all that brown goodness. So we're almost there. Almost there. So yeah, as soon as this meat gets done, I'll put the sandwich together and eat it. We are back. Look at this bread. Ooh, Carb City. There we go, Carb City. And here is the final product on the sauteed mushrooms and onions and sirloin tip steak to go on the Italian loaf. This sandwich cost me roughly $14, and this sandwich will feed 3 people easy. I don't think I'm gonna be able to actually put all this meat on here, so save some for tomorrow, I guess. But we're gonna pile it on here as best we can without making a mess. But you guys know me, when I cook, I make a mess. That's all there is to it. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a steak overload. There's no way we're going to be able to do this without making a mess. So yeah. But this is a huge cheesesteak sandwich. Wow. Put whatever favorite condiment you want on it. I got some great value mayonnaise from Walmart. I think I have a little bit left. It seems like we go through mayonnaise quicker than we go through toilet paper. So yeah, just a little bit. It don't need much. Just enough to complement it. Me personally, I like a little bit of A1 steak sauce on mine, just a touch. But honestly, with that little bit of Worcestershire sauce and the seasoning, it honestly don't need nothing else. And I think I've squeezed out about as much as I can squeeze out. So yeah, here's the tricky part. This is going to be, I'm not looking forward to this part right here, because like I said, this is a huge sandwich. Good night. Get back on there. Would you try to run away? Alright guys. I lost some steak. Worms, Philly cheesesteak, 14 bucks. And this thing weighs, I bet you, 4 pounds. Anybody want a bite? That is a big sandwich. And no, like I say, this will feed me, the wife, my mother-in-law, and probably, steak, probably one of the dogs. So here comes the test. Let's see if I can actually cut a piece of it. Good night, this thing smells and looks delicious. Oh, runaway steak, you better come back here. Guys, there's nothing in the world like a cheesesteak sandwich. God bless y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you. Thank you, good Lord, for this food which I'm about to receive, for I receive it in your name. And pray and ask it to be a blessing and nourishment to my mind and my body. So through Christ Jesus, I pray and ask these things. Amen. All right, guys. Here it goes.